Brian Thompson is a consultant offering training and development solutions in business strategy and performance improvement. Mr. Thompson's comprehensive experience stretches across multiple industries, including business operations, investment management, and strategic planning. His seasoned knowledge of leadership skills and strategy execution has been developed through working with many distinct companies at various operational levels. He's a graduate of Governor State University with a bachelor's degree in business administration and also holds a Master of Science in Finance from the Illinois Institute of Technology Stewart School of Business in Chicago, Illinois. Here is a small sampling of one of Brian Thompson's workshops.
Whenever we're focused and we're committed to reaching a goal, we have to ask ourselves, what are we doing to get to that goal? And one of the things I come across quite a bit when I'm talking to people about their goals and what they're trying to achieve is that, why am I not getting to where I want to go? Why am I not seeing success? Why am I not seeing change? And a lot of times what I'll say is that it boils down to your actions and your behaviors, right? Anytime we want to make a successful change in life, it starts with understanding what changes are we making in our actions and our behaviors, because it's an equation, right? If we want to make a change in our life, we have to make a change in our actions and our behaviors. All too often, people get frustrated when they don't get the results that they want because they try to change one or the other, but they don't change the two together. If I'm committed to doing something and I decide I'm going to go out and I'm going to get all the equipment and all the gear and everything I need to do it, but if I'm not mentally committed to it, if I'm not willing to get out and work on it every single day, if I'm not willing to take the negative feedback when things aren't necessarily going my way, I can't expect to make a successful change. So if we're really committed to making change in our life, then we have to think about our actions and our behaviors. And every day that when we work on these, we're focused on it, we're committed. And going even further than that, there's additional things that we can do on a daily basis to set ourselves up for success. I think one of the most key things that we can do is we can establish boundaries, right? If we're serious and we're committed to reaching a goal, then we have to make sure that we're doing everything we can in our powers to reach that goal. And it can't just be something you do when it's convenient, something that you do when it's easy, because all too often the most challenging goals, the things that we really are committed, the things that we really want to get out of life, they're not easy. They're not easy for you, and they're not easy for other people. So if we know that other people have struggled too and have figured out a way to be successful, then we can do it too. And part of that mental part of the behaviors is telling ourselves on a continual basis, we can be successful at doing something. And so it's almost like you're your own cheerleader, right? And you've got to figure out a way to keep yourself motivated when things aren't going right. It certainly helps to have other people around, right? That's part of the supporting behaviors of reaching a goal. If you have other people that know you're committed to a goal and they're willing to help you and support you, all the better. But if they're not around on those snowy days, if you're trying to lose weight and you need to get to the gym, and they're not around on those snowy days to make sure that you go where you're supposed to go, then you've got to do it for yourself. So you have to be your own cheerleader. But some additional supporting behaviors that we can kind of enact to, once again, set ourselves up for success is that we have to set high expectations for ourselves. If we set a goal that we know is easily achievable and we don't have to put a whole lot of work into it and with minimal effort we're going to achieve the goal, then chances are we're not going to be as committed to it as goals that are going to stretch ourselves, that are going to require us to be a little bit more challenged. Setting high expectations basically boils down to getting all the supporting behaviors all pushing in the right direction. If we're setting a higher expectation for ourselves, chances are we're going to commit more effort, but then also we're going to associate the right behaviors with it, right? So if it's something that's really challenging for you, you might get a mentor involved. You might go out and seek additional information, get someone to help you reach your goals. That's part of building a strategy. Whatever we can do to make our efforts more successful and make our efforts more concentrated so that we're minimizing the effort that has to go into a project or into a goal and maximizing the results, that's a strategy. And strategy boils down to understanding where we are today and understanding where we want to go in the future. And so if we can figure out the right strategies for success, then once again we can put our efforts into something else and be more successful. In addition to setting high expectations, we also have to put in boundaries, right? We have to understand that what we're committed to do and what we're not committed to do. If I'm focused on building a business and I want to make sure I'm taking my last $20,000 and I'm putting everything I've got into this business, and I don't set a time frame for when am I going to quit? If it doesn't work, when am I going to move on? Then essentially I'm setting myself up for failure because I don't know when the end is, right? I don't know what is the boundary. And so essentially we want to make sure anytime we set a goal or anytime we're trying to achieve something, we want to tie solid boundaries to it so we can be more successful. At the same time, we want to build up all the supporting behaviors that we can. So if we can, like I said before, involve other people in our goals, that's extremely powerful because once again it helps motivate us, because anytime that someone else has done something that you want to do, then essentially you can do it too. It just might take you a little bit different type of work. So essentially, anytime we're trying to reach a goal, we're trying to focus on our behaviors, our actions, and then figure out what other support mechanisms that we can put in place to be more successful.